The asylum system that we've got in the UK is practically at collapse point. The situation surrounding asylum processing in the UK has reached a critical juncture. Following Labour's decision to scrap the Conservative led Rwanda deportation scheme, estimates suggest that over 60,000 asylum seekers could be granted refuge in the UK within the next year, and even that will not clear the backlog which has been gradually mounting since Theresa May imposed her hostile environment. This substantial figure stems from a Refugee Council forecast based on the nationalities of 118,000 individuals whose claims Labour inherited from the Conservatives. With a success rate estimated at 53%, the Council's projections underscore the impact of the policy shift under Keir Starmer's leadership, and Labour's move to lift the ban on asylum claims for those entering the UK, quote, illegally under the three laws devised by Suella Braverman, which should be repealed but are not being repealed. So again, we're left in legal limbo, using powers embedded in the Illegal Migration Act and the Nationality and Borders Act and the Rwanda Act has significantly altered the landscape. Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, now faces the task of managing this influx while also re-evaluating the use of taxpayer-funded accommodation for asylum seekers. Many of those hotels, of course, where asylum seekers are kept are already under contract for 2 or 3 years. According to Enver Solomon, the chief executive of the Refugee Council, the UK inherited a system in disarray, exacerbated by the Conservative government's halting of processing, which left a record asylum backlog and a £5 billion black hole in the Home Office budget. From the Labour perspective, rapid processing of claims is essential in clearing the backlog and ensuring fair, timely decisions for asylum seekers. However, former Conservative Migration Minister Tom Pusgrove has criticised the abandonment of the Rwanda schemes, calling it a missed opportunity to deter criminal gangs. He urged Labour to apologise to Rwanda, resurrect the partnership as a measure to stem illegal crossings. Furthermore, the EU's recent considerations to establish Rwanda-style camps inspired by Italy's agreement with Albania reflect growing international interest in solutions of outsourcing, but they're not quite the same as the Rwanda plan. The Albania plan is that migrants will be kept in Albania until they are processed and then returned to Italy. But it's not clear from the Albania plan, which is now, I think building work has now started in Albania on the first of these camps. It's not clear what would happen to those migrants who are rejected. Where do they go if they can't go back to their home country? Would they continue to stay in Albania? And that really is the big question. Labour's challenges extend beyond just managing numbers, with Solomon highlighting the inevitable consequence of shifting migration routes due to increased enforcement. The UK must also anticipate new tactics by smugglers, including the resurgence of clandestine routes like lorry transport. Labour's commitment to ending hotel accommodation has also faced criticism, especially as plans to reopen some sites are now under review. This has sparked accusations of inconsistency and raised concerns about the inadequacy of Labour's long-term strategy. Part of the problem with Labour was that it was coming in without a plan. Its only plan was not to do what the Conservatives were doing, and that's not a viable alternative. The need for a cohesive and humane policy is evident, but as James Cleverly, the Shadow Home Secretary, has stated, Labour's approach must balance compassion with pragmatism. He's warned that the growing costs associated with asylum accommodation could undercut other welfare commitments such as winter fuel payments, which Labour has reportedly reduced to fund these changes. And according to Solomon, a successful system must offer quick and accurate decisions on asylum cases to ensure both security for claimants and confidence among the public in government decision-making. Ultimately, this is a situation where Labour has made strides in processing and accommodation, but the sheer volume of the cases and the underlying structural chaos, the underlying structural issues, demand comprehensive reform. And that is what we're not seeing, with projections indicating that the backlog could have exceeded 177,000 cases by 2025. Labour's actions have prevented a further spiral, but the ongoing struggle to balance efficiency with humanity will likely define the trajectory of the UK's asylum policies for years to come. My hunch is that if Labour were to get this right, it's something that could be tidied up within the space of the present Parliament. But my gut feeling is that Labour are not going to get this right. Labour are just pushing it down the road, and that isn't the way forward. The way forward is to tackle the issues which have caused the problem in the first place, and top of those issues is Theresa May's hostile environment. We need to change the attitude of the Home Office. Once we've done that, then everything else follows. We also need to employ more people in the Home Office to process these claims.